Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting momentarily. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Our webinar will begin in just a few minutes. While you're waiting, feel free to review our program information at csudh.edu/CC Teaching. Be with you momentarily. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Our webinar is ready to start. So we just want to welcome you. My name is Anissa Barton Thompson, and I'm the social media specialist for the College of Continuing and Professional Education here at California State University, Dominguez Hills. I'll be your host for this presentation, so welcome. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on our website and social media resources shortly after today's session. Please feel free to download the Community College Teaching Certificate Program Information Kit for details about the program and additional resources covered in today's webinar. The address is bit.ly/CSUDH-CCTC-InfoKit. We have provided a link in the chat for those who are participating live, and it will also be available via follow-up email to attendees as well as on our website. So before we jump in, I'd like to review the Zoom controls. This session is being presented in a webinar format, so you don't need to worry about connecting your microphone or camera. However, we want your participation today. So help us address your questions. Please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen if you're joining us from the Zoom desktop app or web browser, or in the top right of your screen if you're on a mobile device. And please ask your questions in the Q&A panel rather than in the chat panel. In the chat panel, we'll be providing links and other helpful information. Once you click the Q&A button, a dialog box will open, allowing you to type your question in. Our marketing staff members, Stephanie Miller and Keith Otterberg, are standing by to assist. We'll be answering those questions at the end of the session, although you often may find that the questions you have been answered during the program overviews. So with that being said, let's take a quick look at today's session agenda. We'll begin by meeting our certificate faculty, who will introduce you to the program via an overview of benefits, expectations, and course details. Then we'll go over the registration and login information and address your questions in our Q&A session. And please be aware that depending on the number of questions that we get, we might extend the time to accommodate everyone. We want to make sure we address all the questions. And now, to lead us off, I'll turn us over to Dr. Rodger McGinness. Dr. McGinness, take it away. Go ahead, you're all set.
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rodger McGinness. I'm one of the 3 instructors in the program. A little bit about my background. I took my first community college class at Southwest Texas Junior College in Uvalde, Texas. I'm sure you've heard of Uvalde. I went on to earn my bachelor's degree and several master's degrees and finished up with a Doctor of Education from UCLA. My teaching experience includes many years of classroom teaching and online teaching at both public and private colleges and universities. My administrative experience includes years as a department chair, a dean, and finally, vice president of academic affairs. Welcome to everyone. Up next is Ramon. Take it away, Ramon.
Thank you, Rodger. My name is Ramon Baltazar, and good morning, and nice of you to join us. I have been with the Community College Teaching Program since 2007. My background, I have an MBA and have 20 years of experience in operations management in private industry, mostly electronics and cosmetics. My positions range from production supervision up to contract administration. I started teaching in 2004 at LA Harbor College, and currently I am still at LA Harbor College, North Orange County Community College District, and I am the chair of business at Bethesda Christian University, where I have undergraduate and the Master's of Business Administration. I myself am a graduate of the Community College Teaching Program here at CSUDH, and in the 2004 cohort, which I joined the CCTC faculty in 2007. I hope to see you in GED 549, the community college. Now, may I introduce you to your internship coordinator, Professor Carman Wimsatt. Carman?
Thank you, Ramon. My name is Carman Wimsatt, and I'm the internship coordinator for the Community College Teaching Program here at CSUDH and the instructor for the GED 594 internship course, the last course in the program. I have a BA in sociology from UC Berkeley and an MA in psychology from Pepperdine. I began teaching for community colleges, specifically Pierce College, about 22 years ago in the psych department with a focus on statistics. I have 10 years of experience in internship coordination with a program titled Project Match. I was a mentee, also a mentor, and a program creator serving on the program committee. Thank you and welcome. We are here today to discuss how to get training in community college teaching and how to be prepared for teaching opportunities at the community college and, frankly, at any level of higher education. As a reminder, teaching opportunities depend on your educational achievements. To teach K through 12, you need a teaching credential. To teach at a university, most often you need a master's or doctorate degree. And finally, to teach at the community college, you will likely need a master's degree in line with minimum qualifications. The CCTC program will specifically address teaching for a community college. Let's get started with what you are eligible to teach at a community college based on your minimum qualifications. Rodger, you are next up.
Thank you, Carmen. Well, now that you've met the program faculty, I'm sure you're interested in the subject that you're qualified to teach at the community college level. To do this, we have to look at the California State Disciplines List. The disciplines list reveals the minimum qualifications for community college teachers, counselors, and librarians. We call these the MQs for minimum qualifications. The disciplines list replaces the old system of credentials at the community college level, which are now obsolete. Now, the key to your MQs is the exact topic printed on your master's degree diploma. Sometimes the topic printed on your bachelor's diploma will also help get you qualified. Now be careful. What's printed on your two diplomas may not be what you think your major was. For example, I majored in corporate finance at the University of Colorado, but the topic printed on my bachelor's degree simply says business. We'll give you instructions later in the program how to determine your MQs for community college teaching. Now, there may be a case or a situation where you earned your degree at a foreign university. This is not a problem. You merely have your transcripts evaluated for equivalency to a degree in a U.S. college or university. The state of California provides a list of agencies to do this that are approved by the Commission for Foreign Transcript Evaluation. There is a fee for this service. After your transcripts are evaluated, you can then go to the disciplines list to determine the MQs that you satisfy. On your screen now, you should see a poll that we will use to determine your familiarity with the minimum qualifications. The question in the poll is, how familiar are you with your minimum qualifications? The choices are, I'm not familiar at all. This is my first time hearing about MQs. The next choice is, I know what MQs are, but I'm not sure where to start. The next choice is, I've researched my MQs before, but I still need a little clarification. And the last choice is, I'm very familiar with my MQs and I'm ready to jumpstart my career. Good. So we'll leave the poll up here for a little bit and to give you time to answer. And then we'll come back later in the program and give you the results of the poll. Ramon now will provide an overview of the Community College Teaching Certificate program. When you're ready, Ramon.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rodger. We're now going to move into an overview of the program. This is the program snapshot. First of all, it is intended to prepare the students for teaching and improve your job readiness. It will hopefully make you understand the mission and functions of the community college. It will develop the teaching skills and strategies. It will provide advice and guidance, and it will support your student candidacy. This certificate is not required at a community college. However, successfully completing this program makes you competitive because we eliminate the unknowns. It increases your confidence. In other words, we help you to hit the ground running. Most of your academic deans, chairs, and program managers expect you to have the basics of adult classroom management already when you get hired or in your internship. Now, I will also discuss the program admission requirements. Next slide. Okay. Now, one of the first program requirements is you have earned a master's degree or doctorate degree in the academic discipline that you want to teach in your designated discipline, as indicated in the minimum requirements list. Okay. You are also in the last term of completing your master's degree. Now, you are also in your completing your last master's degree, or probably there are any degree, 6 years of experience in a designated, what we call career educational area. Okay. Now, Carmen will now discuss with you on the next slide, okay, the postgraduate 3-degree course program.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ramon. Now let's dive into the program. It consists of 3 graduate level graded courses. First, your GED 549, titled The Community College. Here, the course focuses on the community college system. The second course is GED 548, titled Effective College Teaching. This course focuses on pedagogy and andragogy. It's a 3-unit course that covers everything required for college teaching, syllabus construction, assignments, grading, and much more. The third course is Community College Teaching Internship. It's the capstone of the program. It's a 3-unit independent study course that is your entry into the community college. We will cover this in detail shortly. Please note, the program consists of 2 academic courses as mentioned. That's your GED 548 and GED 549. Those 2 courses are followed by a teaching internship independent study course titled, or in better said, GED 594. Completing GED 548 and 549 in any order, which means you can start with GED 548 or 549, doesn't matter. You have to complete those courses, each with a grade of B or better, is a prerequisite before you can enter the internship course. You cannot register for the internship course, and that's right, that third course requires registration without enrollment approval. We will cover the process in detail later on in this presentation. And now Ramon will introduce 549.
Thank you very much, Carmen. All right. Your first course to start out with is GED 549, okay? At 549, our objective is to give you an overview of the community college system and to easily navigate through it. So the first part is history, background of the community college, the California Community College Master Plan, and its priorities and expectations. Part 2 is about our main focus, which is the students, their diverse background, purpose in coming to the community college. In part 2, we will also look at you, the faculty, your diverse background, and help you build a professional identity to match the expectations of the community college. And then part 3 is about the structure, bureaucracy, and organization of the community college. We look at the environment that the CC works under. The organizational, political, financial pressures all contribute to the evolution and how it operates now. There is a uniqueness about being an academic institution of this level, and yet it is a bureaucracy that you need to learn, to navigate, and to be successful in. Finally, part 4, we will look at the tools that you are given to carry out your part of the mission. We will learn about the curriculum, and the student services, counseling, matriculation, and the sectional specialties that you may find a niche and even an entry point into the community college. In conclusion, the course will end with a look at the trends and the challenges for the future of facing the community college. Now, Rodger will discuss the second academic course, GED 548.
Thank you, Ramon. 548 is the effective teaching course. This focuses on teaching at the college level. We start off by identifying the most difficult concept for students to master in your community college course. That forms the context to build everything around you to become an effective college teacher. A lot of the preparation for classroom lecturing is covered, including the delivery of the lecture and different types of lecturing. You'll get real-time feedback being critiqued by your colleagues in the course. We also cover syllabus construction, textbook selection, the mechanics of developing an exam, and most importantly, handling classroom issues, difficult student issues that will arise in community college students. Now, Ramon will address course scheduling.
All right, thank you, Rodger. GED 549 and 548 will be offered in a synchronous online modality, which means you have to attend. It will be instructor-led, live online class sessions each week, conducted on the day and time indicated on the program schedule, okay? There are class expectations like complete weekly assignments to be submitted online via Canvas. Participation is required and only one absence. Now, Carmen will discuss the internship course. Carmen?
So the GED 594 Community College Teaching Internship course is an independent study course. And this course consists of supervision by the faculty mentor you selected. This is potentially a semester-long job interview, as the department chair where you are an intern may consider you to teach a future course based on your performance in the internship. There are course assignments, and there's a performance evaluation conducted by myself, the internship coordinator. This comprises the teaching internship experience. Now let's dive into the internship search process. There is a process that the course will guide you through. The gold boxes demonstrate the start of the process, beginning with an understanding of your minimum qualifications and ends with your earned CCT certificate. Let's address the actual process for seeking a faculty mentor. Students will enroll in GED 548 and/or 549. It is at this time, while the student is already in those courses, that students are asked to begin contacting department chairs and faculty members who teach with their chosen community colleges for the opportunity to intern during your third and final course. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're moving to the next box there. Yeah, 29. The student submits the internship application once all course prerequisites are made and internship is confirmed. There are 4 items required for that process: the application, your teaching philosophy, a copy of your master's degree, and 2 letters of recommendation on letterhead. Those recommendations can be from a current supervisor, a former faculty in your course of study, or anywhere where you have connections. Hint, ask your GED 548 and 549 instructors for a recommendation. They will gladly assist. If you are currently completing a master's degree, then your transcript showing that you are in the last courses of that degree will be required. We ask that students consider interning with community colleges that are nearby. So take a look around you and find at least 3 to 5 colleges near you. The student contacts a mentor faculty of their choice, community college, which could be a department chair or a senior faculty member. In most cases, the campaign for an internship will take a few tries. That's why you want to start at the first course that you enroll in. But eventually, a faculty member agrees. Now, following that acceptance by the mentor faculty, there's paperwork involved, which means the student will inform the internship coordinator of the following items. I will need to collect the name and contact information of the faculty mentor, the course name, the course number, the name and contact of the supervising administrator, which in most cases is the department chair. As the internship coordinator, I will validate your application by reviewing the documents for accuracy, verifying successful completion of the prerequisite courses, and contacting your college for internship verification, just to verify that you have actually secured a faculty mentor. And I will seek document signatures at that point. Once the internship is acquired and the application is complete, the student is given permission to register for the third and final course and begins the internship. The student completes the internship, which does include a few course assignments as mentioned and the teaching evaluation. Once the student completes the internship, which includes those evaluations from your faculty mentor, the student applies for the community college teaching certificate, and we all get to say congratulations. The entire process begins and ends with your course instructors and your internship coordinator assisting you the entire way. Students will be reminded of the GED 594 independent study requirements during their enrollment in the prerequisite courses. I will now discuss scheduling and class expectations. So this is a little bit of an attempt to answer some pretty pressing questions. There's part A and part B of that third course. Part A is the internship. So there's always the question, how many hours in the internship? There's a total of 15 hours. That's about 1 hour per week, minimum per semester. However, community college classes are usually about 3 hours, and we encourage you to be on campus and network with other faculty as much as you can. There are benefits of staying on campus longer and networking with faculty. Another question, where does the internship take place? On campus, hybrid, or strictly online? And hybrid means that there may be a little bit of time requested for you to be on campus as well as work to be done online. Students are encouraged to take the course however it is offered. Then there is a part B to your third course. It's the independent study course itself. Often questions are, what does the independent study course require? It's completion of several assignments, at least 2 online meetings, those teaching evaluations I mentioned, and all content delivered using Canvas. Now, Rodger will discuss with you your minimum qualifications to teach at a community college.
Thank you, Carmen. Earlier, we had a poll, and let's take a look at the poll results. The question is, how familiar are you with your minimum qualifications? Well, 39% of you said, I'm not familiar at all. This is my first hearing about it. About 23% said, I don't know what MQs are, but I'm not sure where to start. I know what MQs are, excuse me, but I'm not sure where to start. Another 26% said, I've researched my MQs before, but I need some clarification. And 13% says, I'm very familiar with MQs. I'm ready to jumpstart and get going. That's good. Okay, so we're going to help the 50% or more of the audience that needs a little additional guidance in determining their MQs. To do that, we have to go to the Minimum Qualifications Handbook and the disciplines list. Now, when you registered for this seminar, we sent you an information kit. For those of you who are participating live, you can see a clickable link in the chat panel at, I believe it's at the bottom. Now, the information kit can also be found online at the link bit.ly//CSUDH CCTC info kit. So I want you to go to the info kit. On page 3 of the info kit, you'll see a link. That's a clickable link, and it will take you to the Minimum Qualifications Handbook. Now I want to be in the Minimum MQ Handbook. I want to go to page 11. On page 11, you should see a disciplines index. On the right, it's in alphabetical order, and on the right, you will see columns highlighted in blue shading. These are the minimum qualifications, the MQs for each discipline. Notice the first column is titled Master's Degree. So if you see an X in the column next to that discipline, such as accounting, that's what's required to teach accounting at the community college level. You might see the next column, which is a bachelor or associate's degree and professional experience related to that discipline. I think on the screen now you'll see the first one is something about professional training. And the next column in very highlight blue specifies any degree or professional experience related to the topic. So review the minimum qualifications that you meet for the subject that you want to teach. Now remember, it's what's printed on your bachelor and master's degree that is the key. So if you find yourself in a situation where your bachelor and master's degree don't match the specific MQs, all is not lost. You might qualify through a process called equivalency. Now, an example of this might be an individual who has an MPA, a Master of Public Administration, and they want to teach business courses. So what you would do is you would look at the bachelor's degree that is required for that topic and then see if your master's degree in combination will help give you equivalency. Equivalency is usually determined at the campus level by the district office, human resources office. Another example is social work. Individuals with a master's in social work want to teach sociology courses. Individuals can look at the topics required to teach sociology, and then the MQs satisfied if the bachelor's degree is not also in social work. So do your research, and if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them in the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Now, Mr. Baltazar will talk about a few other areas that are subject to some interpretation. Ramon.
All right, thank you, Rodger. There are some areas that probably you're going to see where there are going to be a lot of open areas for interpretation simply because they fall into what we call the community college career technical education area. And on page 58 in your MQs, these are the following disciplines. Disciplines requiring any degree plus professional experience, any degree and 2 years of professional experience in a discipline, any associate's degree and 6 years of professional experience. We know of individuals that may have specific questions about these particular backgrounds and experience, and we will refer to them later during the Q&A period. You can see the examples as shown above, okay? Now, Rodger will now talk to you about the employment requirements also. Rodger?
Thank you, Ramon. After satisfying the minimum qualifications, the MQs, there are some employment requirements that you have to satisfy to actually become a faculty. Such requirements are may be expected for the internship before you can access a classroom. You can't access a classroom in California unless you've completed these 3 qualifications. The first one is a criminal background check. No criminal convictions on your record. This is accomplished through live scan fingerprinting. The second requirement is a health screening. This is the TB test. This is required of all teachers in California from K-12 up through the university level. And the third requirement is employment eligibility verification. This is accomplished through the U.S. Customs and Immigration Service Form I-9 for everyone, especially international students. Now, let's move on to the benefits of this community college teaching certificate program. Carmen.
Thank you. So as a recap, let's talk about what the program is and is not. We will start with the fine print. The CCTC program is not an employment or placement service. This is your preparation for your potential position. It is, however, a graduate level education program with graduate level work expectations. You must find your own faculty mentor in a community college, as this is specific to teaching at a community college. The CCTC doesn't qualify you for teaching. Only meeting the minimum qualifications will do that. Any district may have additional qualifications required to meet eligibility. Now, here are the benefits of completing this program. You will have an understanding of how the community college system works, which is not easy to process, trust me. You will have developed a syllabus for your course that meets state standards. You will have practiced your lecture style. You will have identified your teaching strengths and areas for improvement. You've become aware of potential problem areas with student interactions. You will have completed a semester-long internship and networked with faculty. You will have developed a rapport with your mentor, teacher, and discipline department. Established your credibility as a community college instructor, and you will have greatly increased your confidence in your teaching abilities. Now I'll turn things over to Anissa, who is going to review your online access and registration details.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Ramon and Rodger, for your valuable insight into the program. And we're going to come back to our instructors momentarily for that Q&A segment. But first, let's quickly take a look at the course access and registration details. So almost all of the CSUDH professional education programs have an online component, which means that students are assigned online access through our campus's IT services. Each student will need login credentials to access our student portal called My CSUDH. This portal includes our Canvas learning management system, where our course content is distributed, much like the community college teaching system. Toro Mail, which is our Gmail-based student email system, and of course, the Zoom web conferencing tool. These login credentials, which consist of your username, email account, and password, are issued through our registration office approximately 2 to 3 business days after registration in your first course. Enrollment is available from our our continuing and professional education registration office, and the current hours of operation can be found at our registration website, which is csudh.edu/ccpe/registration. We highly recommend that you register early to make sure that there's space in the course and allow enough time for course information and online access to be distributed and created. Payment is due at the time of registration, and you can pay for your courses individually or for multiple courses at once. The federal WIOA, that's WIOA, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, provides funding through our California Employment Development Department for qualifying students who are currently either unemployed or seeking career training. For more information, please email wioa@csudh.edu or visit our program website for more information. And if you need any further financial assistance, please Google private student loan providers or connect with sallymay.com for student loan details. Again, we recommend that you register at least 1 week before the course begins and check your Toro Mail and personal emails frequently for special instructions and campus notifications. You'll also want to be sure to test your account in Canvas and get comfortable with the layout of the class, such as where to find announcements, Zoom meeting schedules, discussions, and the like. Let us know via our academic technology services if you're having any difficulty connecting. So now we'll get ready for the questions with our instructors. And again, we'll ask that you please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask your questions. So at this point, I'm going to stop our screen share for just a moment and bring our faculty up. Ramon, if you can go ahead and turn your camera back on for us, and we'll be ready to get going. So I'm going to start off with a few warm-up questions because we know that we have a lot of prospective students in mind. And please be aware that in the interest of time, we're going to limit those questions to the general information regarding the program. If you have specific questions regarding your particular educational background or work experience in relation to the CCC MQs, please contact our program instructors directly. We'll provide their contact information again right after the Q&A segment. Now, so here's a quick question. How do the internships work in terms of connecting if you're not familiar with a particular college system? Carmen, can you give us a little bit insight into that? Just that making that cold call. What is the expectation there?
Right. So the beauty of this program, thank you, Anissa, for that question, is to teach you how to contact community colleges and approach a department chair with your interest in teaching. Oftentimes there is a misconnect between how to actually do that, and we guide you. And our way of guiding you is through this internship process, right? So I will show you how to do that. I'll give you tips on what to do. We meet regularly, not only myself, but actually Rodger, who has been in this program as an instructor for years and a teacher at the community college level. He will tell you and talk to you specifically about how to approach campuses as well. So by the time you hit the third class, you have a better understanding of what it is you need to do.
Okay,
so it is a cold call. That term is on point.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. We have a question from Iris. I'm going to ask this one to Rodger. One of my master's degrees has a designation and a specialization. does that allow me to look at two different areas of teaching?
It might, depending upon the total number of graduate courses that you've had in each area. Usually for minimum qualifications, they're looking at least 15 units in the topic that you want to teach at the graduate or postgraduate level. So it depends on the situation and the specific topic that you're trying to meet the minimum qualifications.
Okay. And kind of similar to this, Leon asks, he says, my graduate degree is in political management under the College of Professional Studies. Does this mean I qualify to teach courses such as Poli-Sci 100, or can I create a new course like electoral politics or something along those lines? How do we address new content or new, maybe not necessarily standard content areas?
Well, creating new courses is always desirable. The problem is it going to be an elective? Are you going to teach it credit? Is it going to be transferable? Will it be included in the degree program? Sometimes if we add a new course, some other course has to be pushed aside. So it's really, I would say get your toe in the door, get your job teaching, and then after you've attained tenure, maybe look at creating a new course. But approaching with a new course sometimes is a very uphill struggle. Let me say it that way.
For sure.
That's understandable. George asks, I am currently on faculty at a community college in Northern California. Would my internship be centered on the courses that I'm currently teaching, or should he make a shift?
I'll answer that question. That's fantastic. And absolutely, we will use the course you are in, the course you've been assigned, as your internship. And what you get is my observations to help you and support you to the next level if you're interested in full-time teaching. So this program is catered to wherever you are, if you've never taught before, to if you are in class already. And it demonstrates a competency to your department chair that you're ready for the next level. I also have students who are currently teaching as adjunct faculty. They will ask a fellow faculty member to be their mentor. And it really does show the department that they're interested in improving to a particular level. So yes, George, we can support that. We love that. That way you are getting the guidance you need to move to a full-time position.
Excellent. Okay, so our next question is from Teresa, and she says, do students receive salary or pay during the internship?
There is no salary or pay or stipend. In fact, that's why we encourage you and teach you to go ahead and apply. If you can get an adjunct position, a paid position, while having the evaluation process from your faculty mentors on campus there, that's a win-win. So no, we are not paying you because we're encouraging you to be paid by the campuses where you would like to teach.
Excellent. Okay. We have a lot of questions that are maybe a little more specific, so we'll jump to those momentarily. Caesar asks, internships can occur at any community college, or do we have to act as teaching faculty within the LACCD?
Any community college. And if it's online, any state in the union. Actually, it doesn't even have to be in the state of the union. We have some, they're all over the planet, really. As long as it is a community college. The community college is unique. It's a unique student. It is a unique population, and it really deserves people who are interested in meeting those students at their developmental needs. So any community college.
Excellent. Let's see. Jasmine would like to know what classes she would be able to teach at the community college level with a master's degree in educational counseling. And I don't know if that's needs
Rodger,
more specific deep dive, right?
Educational counseling. So you've kind of got two target markets here, education and counseling. This program focuses on teaching. So we are training teachers, we are not training counselors. However, the second problem is education as a topic, as a discipline, is not generally offered at the community college level. That's a 4-year university teacher prep type curriculum. So you could send me an email, maybe give me a hint on how many courses you've taken, and also what's the topic of your bachelor's degree, and then we can research your MQs a little bit more succinctly.
Okay,
And can I add a little bit there?
absolutely. Please do.
So also, as Rodger was saying, education is a tricky major degree, if you will, but oftentimes your credentials may allow you to teach in what's called the non-credit department. So when you hit a community college, you have two divisions. You have a credit department and a non-credit. And so that's why Rodger's offering a deeper evaluation of your degrees, and it may place you in a different department. Also, we provide guidance, if you will, towards internships in counseling, because there's a teaching component. If you're interested in doing the teaching that comes in that counseling branch, just as well as we do in the library, right? So definitely contact us to address those specific questions.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. And I see Ramon has joined us again. So I'm going to ask this next question to Ramon. We had a recent question about what specific colleges, and Carman did a great job of expounding on this applies to not just a community college here in Los Angeles Community College District, but also across the state and even across the nation, and even potentially across the globe. So Ramon, can you share a little bit of information about what it's like to apply this knowledge to programs outside of an American higher ed system?
Okay, just general to the American higher ed system. The community college training basically is, I think, very, very thorough, specifically because many of the things that we do in a community college is a lot, I think, more compliant, specifically with a lot of laws, a lot of compliances that state, city level community college organizations, and it's just a lot of compliances. So we're trained basically how to make sure that we are a little more rigid, we are a little more scrutinized, as a matter of fact. So when you get to different areas, like for example, I would say the private for-profit areas also, or even the non-public institutions, I think you get a much better training starting from the more scrutinized areas like a community college. Specifically also when you get into your entry level is a community college or a public educational system, it's a lot more scrutiny. It's a lot more regulated. There's more oversight on what you do, more than there are in a lot of other institutions. For example, I was just discussing this with another faculty member, that the level of changing curriculum, the level of introducing more curriculum, specifically at a community college, there are several levels of approvals and suggestions where you have to have your suggestions within the department, and then it becomes a academic committee, and it becomes now to the probably even to the board. So there are levels of approvals before you get something changed. In most private universities, or maybe even religious universities where I've been involved in, it is faster, and there's a reason for that. But because you have been used to the amount of scrutiny before you can implement things, you're now vetting things a lot stricter. And so the end product becomes a little more refined before you get to the actual approved section. So I think it's a better system to get training in a community college. You start off strict, And when you find out you're released to a wider system, there are pros and cons too. If you want to be streamlined, you have a little more liberal areas to go into, but I think you need to start at this level of community college so that you really hone your talents and skills better, much better.
Excellent. So it provides a solid foundation.
Correct. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so our next question is from Alvaro, and he says, what does the internship look like in terms of time commitment? He says, I have a full-time job, but I'm looking to give back to the field by teaching. I do not want to quit my job. So what is the commitment level for the internship? What's the expectation there? And that's for Carman. That's for Carman.
Yeah. So the internship is based on your schedule, and the class is taught at a community college that you have been allowed to shadow a professor, if you will. You'll match your schedule. So if you work from 9 to 5, you'll be looking to shadow in a course that is taught from 6 to 10 or 6 to 9, right? And if you have work 3 days a week and you're off on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so to speak, you'll look for classes that are available on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so here's the deal, because the community college is tailored to the community, the courses that are offered are tailored to the community as well. And so it's likely that you will find a class that's going to meet not only the full-time instructor, right? Because we actually have instructors who have full-time jobs as well, and who teach in the evening. So it's about you matching your schedule with that campus. And that's why we cannot offer it that way. That's why you have to find it, because it's your schedule matched with the campus where you want to teach.
Let me add to that real quick, Anissa. And what I would probably see is most of the internship classes, I would suggest, is for a working individual is to find a schedule where you are choosing maybe classes, if you can choose, maybe the very earliest or the very latest in class, because what you can do to your employer is ask them to take off first thing in the morning, like usually the first classes at a community college would start around 8 o'clock. You can probably come in late for work, but do the first class at a community college, or probably take an internship where it's the last class after work. But I would always advise that when you choose a community college, make it where it is convenient for you to get back to work very fast. Don't choose a community college more than maybe 25 miles from where you live, because just the convenience of being able to jump back and forth to work is very crucial.
Right. And I know that there's probably a factor of looking at the potential for online learning and online teaching.
Correct.
But I think the value comes in having that face-to-face interaction established first before you branch out into online careers. Does anybody want to contribute any information regarding that?
Well, one of those things that probably you'll realize as an intern is you don't get to choose your schedule. You are really at the behest of the schedule of the course that you are trying to apply for and the teacher that you are going to be mentored by. You don't get to choose the schedule. They will say, yes, you get the internship, but my class is at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you either take it or leave it. So your flexibility, it's really up to you. But my credo is, what, if they offer it to you, take it if you really want to teach. I mean, don't refuse. One of those things is never refuse an offer to teach if that's really what you want to do.
Absolutely. And speaking of those scheduling things too, so Joe asks, can you talk more about the weekly Saturday Zoom sessions? Is this for both classes, for all classes? And we'll keep it kind of generic, but what is that Zoom interaction like for everyone? Rodger, I'll start with you.
Okay, thank you. We do practice teaching. It's called the Teaching Practicum. That's conducted on Saturday in the effective teaching course. And it's every Saturday, 11 to noon. And we take turns getting in front of our colleagues and presenting a 15 or 20-minute lecture based on a specific topic for that weekend. So that is a requirement of the effective teaching course.
And Ramon, is that the same for yours? Same kind of
Yes.
scheduling?
My GED 549 starts at 9 to 1 o'clock. And it is the same thing. We have a combination of lecture videos and also question and answer. But the later part of the afternoon is really group Zoom, where part of the course also is practicing. Very importantly, is their first day in class. It's very important before I release them to Rodger or even to Carmen, is they get to practice their first day of class. Getting their first jitters on stage, getting them to have some stage presence. I know it's very hard to simulate on Zoom, but we try our best to have them in a group appearance. There's the focus of the camera, and basically practice their first introduction to the class, being able to get, and that's only the later part of the class. So that's between probably 12 to 1 o'clock. But standard lecture, standard participation, discussions on Zoom and video. So the 4 parts that I discussed when I was talking about the book is going to be partly discussion and also video. That's it.
Okay. And Carmen,
I
just
think
to recap.
yeah. So I often hold Q&A sessions on Saturdays. They're to be announced. We're all just running around on the weekends and you already have classes on Saturday. But what I try to do when you first enroll in any of the courses is offer my time so you can come and start to learn how to approach the campuses. You can talk about it, but until you send that email, make that phone call, or walk into that office, you may have some jitters about it. And I'll meet with you at least twice a month. I'm open to sit and talk and meet with other students. It's been quite successful because I have some alumni who will come back and tell the future students, hey, this is what I did. It works. It's scary, but do it. I also go into those colleges and those specific classes to evaluate, and I'm delighted to witness the relationships that our interns have with the faculty mentors. They are so impressed with your readiness, with the work that Rodger and Ramon have prepared you for, and I get to hear it firsthand from the faculty mentors and also hear them recommend our interns for teaching at that campus. But it all starts with your boldness and my guiding you and pushing you, as Ramon and Rodger will continue to do as well, into those campuses and into those classes, whether it's face-to-face or online. As Ramon said, you do not refuse. If they offer it FaceTime or they offer it online, face-to-face or online, you accept it if it meets your schedule, jitters and all. And this is what gets you to the next level.
Excellent, excellent. And this kind of leads into another question. Caesar is interested in knowing, is there any data that shows the success of students who complete the program and are hired from community colleges because of the program? I think we have a lot of success stories. We don't have physical counts, but Rodger, Carmen, and Ramon all get feedback from students on a regular basis. So tell us a little bit about that.
I have a lot of anecdotal things from many of my former students. And I also have hired, by the way, some of my former students. I have 2 of them that work for me right now at Bethesda Christian University. But more or less, I hear from students that actually have left our college and talked to me and said thank you or sent me cards. But I don't hear from many after they've left. I wish we were able to have a record of that from the very beginning. But their success have been, for example, there have been people that immediately after GED 549 have been very bold and apply. For example, there's one that told me in Sierra out there in Arcadia area, that told me that she applied right away after GED 549 and applied and got the job. So over time, it's anecdotal. I don't have the data to show you. I have the thank you cards. But I also have people that I like, you know what, since I am the chair also of a department, I like people that I train myself. Because there's something there that I know they already, instead of me hand holding at the beginning of the semester, I already know what I want.
Absolutely. Rodger.
Yeah, we hear this is called self-reporting. We don't track them. We don't have a software program that keeps track of our graduates, but when they do get a job, full-time, part-time, they're so delighted that sometimes they'll get back to us. We have done video interviews of some of our successful placements before, but there's too many of them to keep track of. I think the biggest advantage that they say they had from this program is the internship itself, because they got to know their mentor teacher. They network with the faculty. The community colleges like to hire. They don't like surprises. They want to hire somebody they're familiar with, and that is you, the teaching intern, the graduate from our program. So you are a known quantity. Your teaching style is acceptable and amenable to their program, and they like that. That's one thing they really like. As a dean, I have had many interviews, conducted many interviews with potential teachers. And let me tell you, the graduates of this program are head and shoulders above the person that's coming in that's not as well prepared. So Carmen?
Yeah, I want to add that what we have specifically are 78 different colleges that students have done their internships with, about 28 different majors. I know that sounds bananas. And we have students who are doing those courses face-to-face and online. The feedback, however, we are just beginning to collect, in that surveys have been created, and we're sending them out to students who were previously in our program. But feedback, as you know, is difficult, right? So whether it's AAA or Chick-fil-A, if I'm trying to get people to fill out a survey, it's really hard to get them to share that information. But the other piece is that I have students, when they get a teaching assignment, they usually come back and they contact me and they say, now that I have a class, I want to be a mentor. And that's my record. And we have people who span a few years, way before I entered the program, who are coming back to say, now that I'm comfortable in my teaching, I really want to give back and be a mentor. So, and there will be future webinars that will begin to demonstrate the percentage of students who have landed. Also, let me say, just because you do an internship here doesn't mean you end up teaching. I have past mentees who were in my class, actually. They loved the program, they became an intern, and then they realized through, as Ramon would advise, other positions on campus that they liked. So they went into the community college system, but not necessarily as a teacher. That's a success for us because they're in that system and they're working for and with students. And that's another element that's difficult to track. So what we know is that we're leading people to a system that's very difficult to understand without our assistance. And the feedback is that we're helping people get into it versus if it's teaching or if it's in other administrative campus connected positions that help to support students. It's an excellent question. We feel the success and soon we'll be able to quantify it for you.
Excellent, excellent. Our next question comes from Teresa. She says, if you have to miss half of 2 classes, does that equal 1 class missed? Rodger, let me have you take that one.
Well, it kind of depends on what the assignments were for the classes that you've missed. If and we work we make accommodations for individuals whose schedule precludes them from being in class in the Zoom meeting to do their practice lecture. We do a makeup session later on. So we're not accounting, keep ticking off little check boxes. It's the accomplishment of the assignment that counts. So we can do makeups. We want to get you through the program. We want to get you out there on the campus with your mentor teacher. That's our objective.
Absolutely.
May I comment on that, Anissa?
Mhm.
You know, it's very important to have a lot of feedback also from your cohorts, especially in my class. Also, is you will get feedback from me about your teaching when we do your drills. But also, I'd like you to get feedback from your cohorts, your classmates, because me being teaching for a while, but I'd like you to hear also from people at your level who are also going to be your maybe regular students. It's very, very important that you hear from them that how your teaching is, how you can improve. So by missing out at least on more than one session, you're doing yourself a disfavor. You're doing yourself a disfavor.
Thank you for that clarification.
Mhm.
I'm going to backtrack to something that Carmen said earlier about not necessarily going directly into teaching, but working in a higher ed or a community college capacity. But an anonymous attendee here asks, would this program be useful if I'm open to working in either a community college or university? What is the take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely speak, Ramon, but I'm going to say the training is valuable. You don't get it anywhere else. The point is that we're offering something that's not easy to come by, and working at that level with the different developmental stages of students in one class, that's going to support you in any class. So the craft of being a teacher, an instructor, a professor, we do it all. If you can handle, and I don't mean, I'm a 22-year veteran of teaching at the community college level. If you can handle the community college, you're moving up from there, because you can have a 16-year-old and a 66-year-old in the same class, and your ability to support and educate that variety of student is going to carry you anywhere. So the training here is valuable and can take you wherever you need to go in higher ed. Ramon, you were going to add?
Yes, my experience, being in the community college level, the community college is your entry level actually to higher education. In many of your cases, all of our cases, including mine, when you get into the community college, you have access. You have access to faculty, you have access to resources, and then not only that, you have access to a funnel system. You are actually a supporting system to the Cal State system or the UC system. Most of your co-faculty members are also faculty members of the next institution, the Cal State system. Or like me, I'm also a faculty of the Cal State system. And you have access to their resources and to their program managers and deans. So you cross that boundary to different areas. At North Orange County, we are a supporting system faculty to also the Cal State Fullerton. So I have access also where you can do, you can access and move on to different programs. Now, by being in your entry now with the community college, I can parlay that also into the private colleges. Trust me, it's not a big jump. It is we're different. We're using and wearing different hats, but a classroom is a classroom. It's the same students. It's the same, maybe different demographics, maybe different, modalities, but it's still the same students. You may have a different, I'll call it a different modality a little bit, because now I'm looking at maybe not a public, but a Christian university, but a classroom is the classroom. It's the same thing. Your entry level, the community college certificate probably certification, but it opens up doors for you in many other institutions.
We have another question from Zach. Zach, we're not quite sure if we understand your question, but it says, is it possible to do some of the courses at a different college? And then he put transfer units. I think he may be referring to, is there like transferable or alternative credit or alternative work experience or something that can be applied to the coursework here? And Zach, if that's not correct, go ahead and type another question in the Q&A.
Essentially, the short answer is no. You have to take the courses from Ramon, myself, and Carman.
And Carman, yeah.
Yeah, we don't transfer in. This is a very unique course program.
Absolutely. And Michelle asks, most of the network connections mentioned are for the state of California. Is it a disadvantage if I'm located in another state?
Not at all, and it's not just for
all.
California.
No,
Go ahead, Rodger. Yes.
We've had students in Vietnam, Canada, France,
Hawaii,
Germany, Iraq, all over the place. So short answer is no.
It's a benefit across the board. Absolutely.
Benefit across the board.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, and Michelle says, thank you. So we want to go ahead and wrap up. I don't see any additional questions, but I do want everyone who's participated. I know we had a couple of questions from Alvaro and a few other attendees here that had similar questions regarding their specific MQs. And so to those folks that had those specific questions, we're going to get you in touch with our faculty to make sure that you can ask them directly, because you have very specific scenarios that we want to make sure you get addressed. So at this point, I just want to thank everybody that has participated. Ramon, Rodger, Carman, you guys are a wealth of information, and I know that the students are going to have a fantastic time working with you. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into our presentation and thank our instructors for joining us. You guys can go ahead and mute and everything. So our contact information for our instructors are here. Please do feel free to reach out to them if you have any additional specific questions, whether it's about the MQs or about the teaching experience, about the classes, anything along those lines. Feel free to go ahead and reach out to them directly. And when you're ready to take your next steps, we want to make sure that you know exactly how to get in touch with us. We've covered a great deal of information, but we want to make sure, in case you missed anything, please do feel free to reach out to us, contact us during our business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At 310-243-2075, or please email us at learn@csudh.edu, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have there as well. And when you're absolutely ready and you're ready to take those next steps to get registered, please contact our registration office. They'll be standing by to take your registrations via phone at phone number 310-243-3741, and go ahead and press the number 1 at the start of that call. And remember, if you have been recently a student here at Cal State University Dominguez Hills, you can also take advantage of logging in through the My CSUDH portal and register for your courses directly online. So this concludes our community college teaching certificate program information session. And we want to thank you for joining us today. Again, feel free to connect with us on our website, via social media, on our Facebook, our LinkedIn groups. We want to make sure that the students stay connected all the time. And remember to register early to get your spot in your ideal classes. And we'd love to get your feedback on today's session. So please let us know how we can improve the quality of the information provided by visiting bit.ly/CSUDH-webinar-feedback. And for our live attendees, this link will appear in your web browser at the close of the session. So as well, it'll also be in your follow-up email. So we'll stay in the session for a few minutes more to give everyone an opportunity to jot down any last minute notes that you have, grab all those great links that were provided, and download the CCTC information kit from the chat panel. The recording for this session will be available online shortly on our website and via our social media. And when you're ready to leave today's session, please simply click the red leave button in the corner of your screen. So once again, we thank you for participating with us today. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in class and working with you soon. Take care, everybody.